Good evening, everybody. We're giving you a little different jazz vibe from Calabash tonight. We're doing a little bash on this Wednesday in Toronto. It's been a kind of up and down weather. So let's give you a little up and down music. And my friends, family, and people, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is your opportunity to get a little comfy. Hope you got your drink, got your notepad, because we're going to drop some wisdom keys tonight. And remember to share, 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 because sharing is caring. And so, welcome to the Victory Speaks show, the Inspired Conversation series. And today is Wellness Wednesday. And I'm your host, Nicole Waldron, your voice of victory. And you know what? I would say I'm your mental fitness coach. And I'm on a mission to inspire you to live a life of victory, a victorious lifestyle. And one of my goals is to have inspired conversations with individuals who are determined to live a life of victory, no matter what comes their way in life. And in turn, as I gain knowledge, I hope you gain knowledge and wisdom that would help us, navigate this journey. For together we are stronger as we unite with a common voice and our goal. I have recognized no matter what type of conversation we've had, good, bad, funny, you name it, it's all inspiring. It's all about your perspective. And tonight's conversation is going to be focused on how iron sharpens iron. And I always talk about iron sharpens iron because we have to be iron sharpeners for each other. And I'm bringing two phenomenal women onto the Victory Speaks platform tonight. And, they are iron sharpeners for each other. They are iron sharpeners for me. And, we're going to talk about the reset because how can your iron sharpeners help you to reset in your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit? And first up, we have, a young woman who is from the island of Trinidad and Tobago, and she started her journey of dance from the tender age of 5. Later on, she moved to Canada and explored the world of dance and is trained in modern dance, Caribbean folk, and African dance. In 1993, she joined Sankofa Drum and Dance Ensemble, where her passion for dance expanded. In the language of Tree, Sankofa, meaning go back and retrieve, is exactly what she did. In 2007, she traveled to Ghana to obtain a degree in West African dance and community development. Lesley Waldron has made appearances with Ghana's top dance company, with the Ghana Diamonds Dance Ensemble, and many others. She was even at the launch of the Nelson Mandela's Children Fund in Canada. She is a mom of 3 and lives with them and her husband in Toronto. And joining her on the Victory Speak stage is a person who is no stranger to the Victory Speak show. She was, you know what? She was my first guest, Miss Latoya Desmond, otherwise known as Toya Alexis, depending on who you're talking to, family or friends. And she's a Canadian vocalist and actress, and some of you may know her from Canadian Idol. And she's a performer, and yet there is so much more that makes up the fabric of this woman. Like at age 16, she attended the Hollywood School of Performing Arts. And before auditioning for Canadian Idol, she participated in the Canadian version of Pop Stars, which led to a solo recording contract and a guest spot on the song I Got You with pop stars band Sugar Jones. Right now she is expanding her life and she's getting into acting, and I'm looking forward to hear what she's going to be doing with her singing. And she is also now a global distributor for It Works. She is a mama of twins plus 3 and is married to her king. Okay, folks, I need you to get your emojis out. I need you to get your love hearts out because I'm going to bring these two amazing women up to the stage. Woohoo!
Good evening.
I'm so
Good
sorry.
evening.
They choked me up. They haven't even started talking, and I'm all choked up. Oh my god,
Girl.
I'm all choked up. Hold on. I need a sip of. Where's my water? I told y'all to get your water. And where's my water? It's somewhere down low. So how are you ladies doing this evening?
Amazing. Amazing.
Feeling blessed. Thank you for having us.
I feel like singing that song, "Feeling Blessed, Never Stressed." What's that song? Do you see that commercial all the time on the TV now? Feeling blessed, never stressed. Well, sing with me because you guys can sing. I don't sing. I don't understand. You're just leaving me out in the cold, Toya
I
and
don't know
Leslie.
that song. I don't know that
You
song.
are.
Haven't you seen the
But
commercial?
I also don't watch cable, so it's kind of like, eh.
Okay. So, this is a family show tonight because we're dealing with two moms of very active children. They may even make an appearance once in a while on the show. We don't know what's going to happen here
One just
tonight,
did,
right? Oh, well, of course, she's a star, right? She's a star.
right?
So, so Leslie, this is your first time on the Victory Speaks show, and some of you may figure out who she is. If you haven't figured it out, well, we'll tell you a little later. So, I gave you a little brief introduction of who you are, but who are you as a person, Leslie? Not what do you do, but who are you?
Oh boy. Feel like you should have prepped me for questions.
No, we don't. We don't
Um,
prep.
I know. Who am I? I am someone who is just enjoying life. I just love family and friends and positive things around me. And I'm an artist. I That's my passion. That's my heart. That's my heartbeat. And you know, who am I? It now makes you think, right?
Of
When
course.
somebody asks you, yeah,
And I love asking that question because, so many times people say, introduce yourself, and they start telling you about what they do, but you never
right.
learn about who you are. And that's what I think we need to start doing as we start sharpening each other is who we are. Because I think if I said to Toya, can you introduce Leslie? You would, and that's probably what I should have done. Toya, introduce Leslie, and then Leslie introduce Toya. Let's switch it around now. Let's
Oh
flip the
boy.
switch. Toya, Leslie, introduce Toya Alexis to us a little bit before Toya introduces you. Yes.
Okay. Toya Alexis. Toya Alexis is a passionate, loving, kind
Oh,
woman and sister friend. She wears her heart on her sleeve, and she has very much compassion and sees the positive and good in everyone. And her what you see on the outside is, and who she is, that's exactly what it is. That's my Toya.
See? I know that was so easy for you to do, right? And
True.
so
It's
now,
so true.
Toya, I'm going to encourage you now to can you introduce Lesley Harrison to the rest of the world? Can you hear us okay, Toya? I think Toya is freezing a little bit.
Oh,
Oh, I think Toya's having some audio problem. Can you hear us, Toya?
wave if you can hear us.
Can you hear us? Oh, I think Toya's having some audio issues right now. And so we're saying welcome to, Victory Speaks, and Leslie is first time on the show, and Toya was happy. Toya, you kind of turned sideways. We need you to turn the other way now. Isn't it fun when you're having a live show? And so Leslie, as we wait for Toya to come back, tell us a little bit about now what you do because you have this experience in dance and traditional African dance. Tell us a little bit about how you even got involved to loving dance.
Dance for me has been, as for a lot of people who maybe grew up in places like Trinidad, which is where I was born, as you mentioned. Um, Dance for me was gym. That's how I was introduced to it. When we had gym, we had dance. Uh-oh. See, here's a real moment now. My daughter won't settle down at all, and now she's I
She's going to
apologize.
join us on the live.
He's gonna join us on the live. So yeah, dance was gym for me at the age of like 5. So really and truly, it was natural for me to kind of just step into that when I moved to Canada, and my parents and my siblings, you know, sacrificed and took me to every dance class, and I danced on the train and I danced everywhere I went. And I've tried different styles of dance, and when I got into African dance, West African dance, it really resonated with me, and I stuck with it. So I danced from the age of 5, as said before, and I'm still dancing. And so I had opportunity in 2007 to go to university in Ghana. I studied West African dance growing up, and I wanted to go to the root of what I had learned all these years by my mentors. And I prayed about it, and I said, if it's not for me, God, then don't send me. I may be upset, but don't send me. But I got accepted, and I went and I did a 4-year degree and ended up living in Ghana for 10 years. I now have 3 children and and a husband. And yeah, I went to the University of Ghana, Legon, and I was able to meet, the seniors who mentored the people who nurtured me growing up as a dancer. I was able to really see things from with my own eyes and feel things with my own feet, and it was the best experience that I've had. And I know my journey, even being here in Canada, my journey in Ghana is not over, but that's my dance. That's my heart. Yeah.
Love it, love it. Uh, and we welcome you, Nana AC, to the show as well. So welcome. As I tell you, this is going to be a real show. This is what the show is really also about, families and making it through the pandemic. And Toya, when you got cut off, you were about to introduce Lesley and who she is as you see her.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Lesley is sunshine. Lesley is friendship at its truest form, in its truest form. Lesley has become a true sister, sister in Christ, motivational speaker, motivator in how to deal with everyday life and keeping me spiritually connected. Lesley is also one who takes so much pride in her royal tribe and really loves her motherhood role and the ability to raise and rear her children. And she's always looking for more because she knows that that's how God has made her. And she's always willing to see the best in everybody in the situation, help to build people up. Even when she's in a challenging moment herself, she always just has the right words at the right time to share nothing but love and light. So I absolutely love Lesley because she's definitely been such a great support, especially during this season that we have all been experiencing as a collective. It's been such a crazy up and down experience. And I was so thankful to have Lesley as just a message or a quick phone call away.
Well,
And
welcome
don't
everyone.
forget, amazing dancer, artist mind, and she's always being resourceful and thinking about what comes next. I love that.
I love that. And for those of you joining us live and on the replay, we're switching things up tonight because we're talking about iron sharpeners and how do you sharpen each other. And, I gave a little introduction of Lesley and Toya, but I thought it would be interesting if they would introduce each other because when you first ask the question, introduce yourself, who are you? People tend to tell us what they do and not who they are.
All right.
And it's funny when you get to hear the perspective of how another person, how your friends see you, how those around you see you. So that was perfect, and that was like tool one on the iron sharpening iron. So Les, you told us about your dance, how you got into dance. But Toya, for those who don't really know you, you got into music. How did you get into music and into song and this career of even acting now? Because you're not just song, you're just like you're just doing a whole bunch of stuff. And I think we
Wow.
have
How did I get started in music? Really and truly, it was a natural love for music, but then my father is also a vocalist and musician himself, and he just really helped to see certain things and try to really hone in on it. But as far as like my experience to put myself out there publicly, that was my grandma who heard me singing around the house and was telling my mom, like, you should enter her in a competition. She's really good. And so we took a shot and I won first prize. And then I was like, oh, I could win things. Wow. For doing what I love to do. Oh, even better. And then lo and behold, became the itch, the bug that continued to keep biting at me and still continues to this day. I always say that music is my first love and has never broken my heart and never let me down. So it's always my go-to place, my inspirational spot. Even when things are in full motion or they're not, I know that I can always go back at any time, and it always shows me love. So yeah.
I love, love, love that. And so, the two of you have children, you both have a husband, and this pandemic, I know, must have thrown you some curveballs. How have you had to shift, some people say pivot, and support each other through this pandemic?
Who's going first?
Who's going first? Who's on first?
I'll go. I would say it's definitely been a season. It's definitely been a season. My children went from, as a lot of parents, children went from in school to online full time. Luckily for me, I was also found out that I was pregnant at the same time, so I got a lot of time home to help nurture them through that process. But it was a challenge because you are now at home. Now everything is digital, everything is online. Up to socializing is online. The kids don't have the outlets that they would normally have. This is the reality. You see, this is the reality.
This is the reality, and I love the reality.
Yeah, so it definitely was a challenge, but for me, it really made me step back and look at what are we doing to fill ourselves to be able to be the best that we can be. And Toya and I have been on this journey of just filling our cup, and
You might have to take out that earring before she pulls your ear out.
we've been on this journey of filling our cup, and that has helped so much. Everything down to our mind, our body, our spirituality, filling those parts of us so that we can be, full for our family. And I think if we didn't have those outlets, it would have been even more of a challenge. My children were also lucky enough to have great teachers. Thank you to all those teachers who had to adjust themselves. And they had great teachers, so my kids were able to adjust pretty well. But it has been a season. It has been a season.
And now we have a baby that has come forth in this season. Even in the pandemic, you were able to like give birth to a beautiful baby girl in this season. Toya, for you, how have you made it through the pandemic and pivoting in this time?
Woo, boy. Prayer, prayer, prayer. A lot of that, especially on the days that I didn't want to pray. That was, a big thing as to why I was so thankful to have Lesley, thankful to have you, thankful to have some of my other sisters in Christ who just really held me together, because there were times where I was like, okay, Lord, I feel like I answered the call. I feel like I took action when you told me to take action. I really feel like you know, I was being obedient. And if I got it wrong, please make it plain, make it plain, make it plain. Because this season will definitely try you on so many levels. And on a mental level, I was really tested. I was overwhelmed. I was tired. I was exhausted dealing with as many as I have to deal with, or rather I get to deal with, because I love qualified language. And it really made me redefine my role, or my roles rather, and how I'm going to slay them and rock them on what days, and when I'm going to stay structured to a schedule, and when I'm just going to be like, there is no schedule. Sometimes that felt like it lasted for a week or two at a time, because I just needed rest and I really needed to honor myself. And I believe in this season, I was really able to help my son through the virtual school thing, missing friends, and trying to, kind of figure out what families were kind of aligned with how we were moving in order to feel comfortable for my son to even just get out to socialize a bit. Because, he's 14 around 3 other younger siblings who are 4 and 3-year-old twins who are nonstop, always on the go. You can't really see it behind me, but there's like a whole playroom on the other side that was set up like a classroom, whiteboard and everything. I became a homeschool teacher in an instant, prepping my 4-year-old for school. Things just were switching so quickly, and then trying to like be supportive to my husband, who we're trying to figure out what do we do with our business, because it's with a gym and you're dealing with athletes and people coming in and out, and then they're saying sweat and spit and this and that, whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to interact. So that was hard because I could see the burden on my husband. It was stressing us out as a couple. It was really challenging us to like really have to like try our best to see the other side. Some days it worked, some days it didn't. But I think through the whole thing is that what I really loved and what I really discovered about myself was, as much as I am love and light and I'm all, positive vibes at the core of me, I seen my shadow side during this season. And I had to embrace her and heal her in some areas, and I'm still healing her in some areas, but it's also just made me know how strong I really am, and how how together I actually was more than I thought. But when you're feeling it, when you're going through it, it just feels like I can't take anymore. I'm going to combust. Something's going to take over me, and it's not going to be good. But I just stayed faithful. I got on these mindset calls. And then I decided to take on a Soulful Sunday call to, essentially help myself stay in a space where I could be, continue to be positive, to be more intimate with God, to share that community with other queens, like-minded queens who are going through the same struggles or not, just being supportive the way that I needed, in hopes that at the end of it, it would do the same for somebody else. So that's how we've been pivoting and moving around in this season in our household. And we're still pivoting, the pandemic is just really kind of shown us who we need to detox from, who we want more of. It really makes you, because I think this season made everybody all of a sudden become a motivational speaker and a life coach in a heartbeat. And everybody just thought, let's open the lane, because we're talking now, like everybody has an opinion about vaccine, everybody has an opinion about the pandemic itself, and at the end of it, I just, because I keep going to my faith, I'm just like, COVID-19, pandemic, however you want to say it, like it took me forever to want to actually utter the words. I'm like, I'm covered in the blood of Jesus, so you can't even touch me. Like that's enemy base, so you can't touch me. I'm invisible to the enemy. Thank you, Father God, for that. And that's how I kept moving. I was like, they can lock me down and tell me I can't go shop at my favorite store. It kept more money in my pocket and in the bank. So that was great. I didn't get into the whole, let me do the online shopping business. You know what I mean? Like, it just really made me go, my mind's not locked down. I can walk outside of my house. I can go visit my mom. I can, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes you tune in to what you do have, and builds more gratitude and thanksgiving in your heart for what you have going on, so that after all of this, however you want to claim it for yourself, is over, that you're propelling yourself forward, and quickly. So yeah, that's my take on it.
And how did you guys sharpen each other during this period? Because I know the two of you almost like besties, and people don't take offense, because I know they talk to each other basically every day. Like Lesley,
Yes.
how has Toya helped you through this journey? Because both of you right now are wearing literally like twinsies, the
I
same
know.
shirt. Like, what the heck's happening here? Like, how come I didn't get a shirt that says Dreamers? Like, I
We didn't
missed the
even talk
memo.
about this.
We did not
Yeah,
talk about this. It was not planned. It was not planned. You know what? It's funny because Toya and I, just a little background, Toya and I knew each other in high school, but we were never friends, like, so to speak. We just kind of
right.
knew each other in passing, and it's not until in the last couple of years that we really reconnected and have become sisters, you know, and it's like we've known each other for years, and we always, anytime we message each other, it's like if I message her or she message me, it's always the right thing at the right time. It's always in alignment with what we're going through in the moment. I
Yeah.
know if, you know, the, you know, back to your question, is like we, even if we don't have to say much, even if we're going through something, it's just like, girl, pray.
Yeah.
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 You know, and she's become that, you know, you have friends in life that, you know, I know you want to talk, I apologize. So, you know, you have friends in life that you will always support you and have an opinion when you're going
Yeah.
through stuff, and it's great to have that, but it's also, you know, recognizing as you grow in your, in the ways that you grow, that
Yeah.
as Toya talked about, detoxing. And it's not detoxing in about to say that you're not a good person for me. It's just that you're not, you know, at the place where I need you to be in the journey that we're in. Right. My mom
Right.
always said, be around people that enhance your life.
Yes.
And even
Yeah.
if that's for a season, that's okay. And so we have become, you know, how we sharpen each other, you know, as Toya had mentioned, we go on these mindset calls every morning. And that alone just kind of projects how our day is going to go. Um, those little things, those little nuggets, you know, those little conversations, um, even if it's just a quotation or a song, a gospel song that we've sent to each other, those moments make a huge difference for us, you know? And so that's how we've been functioning
Hmm.
in the last year, more so than ever, you know?
And like now with, and I think this is a really good example when life throws you some unexpected things. Like, you know, even doing the interview tonight, different things have been happening, but we said no, we're gonna continue with it because this is what real life is all about. It's not about this perfect life. We have families, we have children, and one of the things that, you know, Toya, because now I know you're on this health journey with Lesley, on this fitness journey, and you have a team. How are you sharing with your team to really sharpen each other when life throws you those lemons, and you think you're going to have a nice orange but you end up sucking a lime? How do you navigate through that? I think, is Toya frozen?
Wow.
Okay.
I think we're just really all on the same tip of we need to evolve in different ways and shapes and forms of the way we're viewing things, our perception of what's really taking place. We all really motivate each other to just get real with one another, to take ownership, accountability, and responsibility for where we're at, where we want to go, and make a plan to get there. And with our industry that we work in with health and wellness, helping other people to impact themselves in a great way to find their better version of themselves, to improve the things that they're not so happy with, we get a chance to impact not only one another, but other people, from their mindset to their physical space, to their physical, attributes and what they, want to adjust and how they want to feel better and healthier. But then it's amazing to see the shift that happens on an emotional level for a lot of these people. A lot of these people who just feel like they're their own cheerleader, we get to be that for them. We get to introduce them to, products that, has changed my world. Like, I'm somebody who has rocked these products and, have been able to maintain my weight loss and still going down. You know, like 100 pounds plus, I've been able to achieve that,
Right.
and continue to go on that journey. And I love that I get to share that with people who feel like everybody they see on all the scrolling through social media is fake people. They're not real, or they
Right.
can afford trainers, they can do whatever. These are so budget conscious things, and you can just take one thing that can really help you shift. And that's what I tell people. This is not just about, what you're using, but this is about changing your whole mindset, the way that you're going to look at the world differently when you feel differently, when you move differently. And I think that's really the biggest thing. Like when we do our mindset calls in the morning, everybody, there's someone from every walk of life. There is
Wow.
somebody from every age group. There's somebody who, you know, everybody can relate to somebody. There's somebody resonating with someone. And sometimes it's not even that we have a subject matter that we necessarily talk to, because we even have a chat room affiliated with it. And somebody will drop a song in the chat and you're like, oh my word, I needed that today.
Yeah.
So just the way that our kinship has come together, how we all have been aligned with one another at the right time, place, and moments to really have these connections. And then because our business is faith-based, we always end in prayer. We always are lifting one another up. There's never anybody left behind. It's like we see each and every person on that call. If somebody writes in the chat, I'm not doing so well today, in the prayer, you know, you're taken care of. You know what I mean? And that's what I love about what, you know, Lesley and I get to do. And we've been able to rebuild again through the pandemic and through these, you know, where people are saying, I don't know how to find work. I don't know what to do.
Right.
We've been having that opportunity. We've been able to have that. So
And so, Leslie, how has this shift? How has this changed your life? Having these mindset calls, having doing this business with Toya that we will talk about. But how has this changed your life over the last year and a bit?
Um, for me, it's kind of given me permission to be okay where I'm at, and being able to, you know, you identify that you're a work in progress. And I posted something the other day. I'm almost I'm not there yet. I'm closer,
Yes.
because every day
yeah.
you just do a little bit more and you do a little bit more. And I think what I've discovered within myself is that, and I shared this with the team the other day, was that the best thing that we have is the ability to reset. We
Hmm.
have that option. We have the option to choose. Yes, everyone has their different levels of trials. I'm not saying one is worse than the other, or you know what I mean? And it's harder for some than others, but we still have the ability to reset. And so while I have that ability, if I have to reset every hour in one day, that's fine. If I have to reset every couple of weeks, that's fine. And so this, being part of this business, has become, um, you know, there are benefits in terms of the products, which we'll talk about soon. Um, but what has come out mostly for me is the
Yes.
friendships, is the sisterhood, is the accountability piece, is the unity that I could come to a circle of people and be lifted. And that's why I'm still in this space.
So what is different now than, because where you are now, you've always had people around you, but what
Right.
what is this difference? Because both of you have always been around people. You're both in the performing world. You both are creative. But what is this unique difference that has just changed the trajectory of who you are and where you're going?
I feel for me, it's coming, I don't know if it's coming with age. I feel like I've had great support throughout my life. I've had great mentors, but I feel like now, as I'm getting older, I am consciously being aware of what's happening. Before, I was moving and enjoying
Right.
and, you know, being blessed. But now I'm consciously like, what is that? What is it doing for me? You
Mm.
know, how am I taking it and now helping someone else? It's a conscious mindset, I feel now in this season, and I feel like it's with age.
It sounds like you're being more intentional in what you're
Yes,
doing. And
I
so
definitely.
when you look at moms going through what you're going through, because you don't have small families, you have, the three kids, and Toy, you have more than three. How are you? What advice would you give to moms that are feeling stuck right now, trying to be everything to everyone and not taking care of themselves? And when that imposter starts speaking to you, that imposter syndrome. What have you had to say to yourself, and what could you say to other moms out there that are struggling?
I think we have to be bold enough to say that you have to put yourself first. You and not feel guilty about it. Don't feel like you're being selfish, because I feel that's what people feel. They feel guilt. They feel like if I put myself first, that you're not considering. We always consider everyone that we love. But if you're not okay, how can you be the best self? How can you be the best mother? How can you be the best sister, wife? And it's it's not easy. It's a process. I'm learning even in my relationships, you know, even in my marriage. I have to work on me, because if I'm not a whole, we are going to be butting heads.
Right.
And that's a hard pill to swallow, because you feel like, okay, well, I got it covered because I got this done and I got that done and I'm super mom today and da da da. But there are little things in there that you're not filling. And those are the little things that you need. And so, yes, you may not be able to go to a spa or, get away from your kids. But if you're taking that extra hour or half an hour in the morning, surrounding yourself with positivity,
Yeah.
if it's writing in a book, if it's reading something positive. Sometimes I don't even, I may not get on a mindset call. I may not be able to pray the way I would like to pray every morning, but I roll over and I listen to this thing called Above Inspiration, and I turn it on and I just listen to it. And then I get up, because at
Right.
least I've poured something positive into my mind and into my spirit.
And so, Toya, what advice do you have for moms as well?
Essentially, it's like the same as Lesley saying, putting yourself first and then being bold enough to say it to your family. That was my biggest thing, was saying to my
Mm,
husband, like, I'm putting myself first. And he looked like dumbfounded, but I was like, just process that. Say it slowly a couple times, because it was just like, put you first. What? Like, I'm used to you being able to just act that. I'm like, yeah, I can rock Superwoman every once in a while, but
Right.
it's exhausting to be Superwoman, because you have to rock that space 24/7. Somebody's
mhm.
waking you up, and Lesley just experienced this last night. Your daughter had a fever when she woke up. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like all of these different things are challenging us. We're a chef, we are we're a cleaner,
Versus,
we're the we just we're all these things. And I
Right.
always say to people, like, what does that cost? Like, what does that motherhood role cost? Like, I got
Mhm.
one right over here trying me right now. It's the princess of the house, and she's like, legit, like, I know we had a conversation that you're gonna do a live, but I'm in need of a snack and you need to hook that up. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really like, Anaya, cut it out. I told you can have a snack in a minute. Like, girl, this little one right
right?
here,
Yeah.
she is trying to try all the time. But
Your
like,
twin.
really and truly, I had to even get to the point where I speak on this a lot, of letting my kids know that I'm human. That before I had, this name of mom that people called me, and I looked. Yeah, I mean, when you're in a store, I mean, someone says mom, everybody's turning their head. And I literally had to
That's so
say to
true.
them, like, you know what? Y'all need to know Toya. You need to know Toya and know that I'm human. Like, in order for them to have compassion for me, and
Yeah.
for them to see, like, I'm going through stuff. And I feel that it's so important, because, when you grow up, like, I worry for the generations that are after us, because
Mhm.
they don't have that same kind of structure, and the discipline factor. They're exposed to way too much.
Way
And
too much.
so I really am always in protective mode of my kids, but I try to do it where I'm not controlling and I'm connecting with my kids. Like, I
Mhm.
always tell my son, it's never that I don't trust you, it's the other people who are bringing these things to you, or the fact that you are on social media, and then something pops up on your screen that's not age appropriate. I want to trust that to keep swiping. I want to
Yeah.
trust that that ain't for you yet, and that if for
Don't
some
swipe
reason it
right,
comes
swipe
upon
left.
you, right, right. So I'm like, and if you do come upon something that has triggered something within you, I want you to ask me. Don't go to your friend and ask your friend,
Mhm.
whatever the case is, because I want you to get real answers, honest answers. And I'm like, at this point, I just know, like, the way that we were brought up, we weren't allowed to be in a space to be use your voice. It was be seen and not heard. It was like
Yeah.
know your place, mind your elders, and the whole thing. But in doing that, we allowed ourselves to surrender to a kind of quiet that wasn't our own. We adapted to what traditional things were done traditionally, and has made us a little bit mute. So then when we actually have things that we have great feeling about, we don't know how to express it. So through this season, I just was like, enough. I'm expressing myself. I'm going
Yeah.
to share with my kids where I'm at. I'm going to share with my husband where I'm at. Whoever feels uncomfortable, then guess what? I think that might be your stuff that you have to deal with. That sounds like a God problem. Take it to him. And I've been really learning to do the weight method of WAIT. Why am I talking? Because it takes two
I
people
love
to
it.
have an argument.
Why am I talking? Wait now. Toya, dropping it
Why
now.
am I talking?
Okay.
Because it's no good when two people are here and you're trying to resolve something. There's no solution to be had. You know what I mean? It's not like we end up in Jamaica where you arrive and they say no problems, just solutions. Like I wish I could be in an Irie Island mode all the time, but as a mama of twins plus three, that's always testing me nonstop. I'm dealing with so many different personalities and energies, and you're trying to be empathetic and sensitive to certain things, but sometimes we have to say pause. I need you to check in with me. I need and I started saying to my kids, do you guys ask me how I'm doing today? I ask you every day.
Yeah.
Do you guys ask me, do you want a bottle of water, mama? I would love one. Now even the little royals are old enough to go in the fridge and get mommy a bottle of water.
Yes.
And I think it's important that they know how to interact with people, especially when we've been locked down for so long. They don't have some of those tools. So we have to find different ways to show them. So that's where I'm at. I feel like I'm telling mothers to show themselves grace, to show themselves mercy the way that God would and does for us every single day. And I told Lesley, I literally will go in my room 10 times a day and go say a prayer. Like I tell my kids, y'all don't see me. I'm probably praying for you or for me. Doesn't matter. Just whatever the moment is, right? Even if the prayer is as simple as, Lord, hover over me in this moment, just through it. And I reset my day all the time. This pandemic has shown me that I do have warrior DNA in me and that I do have royal DNA running through my veins. I lost my dad during the pandemic. I lost my dad just shy of 3 months ago, and just not being in the presence of, not having him celebrated in that way. It's like it shows up in so many different ways that I don't expect. However, I'm grateful and thankful and happy for his peace now. So it's like this, tug of war feeling. And I just said to people, if we don't understand to look at the blessings right now and stop nitpicking and choosing our battles, why?
Yeah. Yeah. I think Toya just finally got a little frozen there. And I think one of the things I love what Toya just shared was the fact that one is able to pivot in the pandemic. People talk about pivoting all the time, but I love the fact, and hopefully Toya can hear me even though you're frozen, is that when you said about, asking your children to ask how mom is doing
Yeah.
and they can go get her the bottle of water, you know, and to me, that is so significant that we have to do that. How have you, Lesley, how to show up for yourself and ask what you need in this season?
Um, I think my children naturally started to kind of feel that I needed the support. They're home. One of the benefits of them being home now is really they're learning some life skills that they may have learned, but some of them maybe later on in life and things like that. So they're now in a space where they're so much more independent, and I'm thankful for that. I don't necessarily have to rush and get up in the morning to make breakfast because they know how to do that. And so, um, I do have my moments where it's like, when Toya was speaking, made me think the other day something happened with my kids, and I just looked up and said, Father in heaven, like my mother would have said to me. And my daughter's like, Mommy, what's that? What does that mean? And it's like, I just needed to take a breath. I just needed to take a moment, But in this season, the kids have been able to adapt and learn new skills, and they're still learning, and so they've become more supportive in supporting me, and my husband as well. Just we've just all been able to hold each other up in this season, and help each other more and be more compassionate.
And what have you done in terms of your health? Because you've had a baby, you have two children and a husband. What did you have to do now to enhance your health to be able to make it through this phase that you're in?
Well, I'm usually dancing, but I can't say I've been dancing nearly as much as I used to. I used to dance 14 hours a week. Now you're lucky if you get me to dance 1 hour a week. But I realized that was missing for me, because even me being at home with a newborn, I was like, okay, baby born, now what are we going to do next? And everybody's like, what do you mean? I said, no, I can't just sit around and do nothing. So I'm doing a course. I joined a fitness program online. I'm starting to do my walking. I got back on my It Works products, and everyone's like, but you just had a baby, what are you doing all this for? And I'm like, it's natural for me. I have to keep moving. I can't just sit down here and just say, well, I'm a mother and I just had a baby. And so it's just like when I had my first son, they were like bringing the wheelchair. I said, where are you going with that? Sorry, the Trini coming out tonight. I said, where are you going with that? They said, but you just had a baby. I said, no, I'm going to walk to the room. Because the minute I start to say to myself that I'm in that space of I can't do, and that is one thing, I posted that the other day. There's no such word as can't in my vocabulary. I'd say that to people that I teach, the children that I teach, my own kids, take the word can't out of your vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
There may be up days and down days. I joined my fitness program. I told my daughter, hold me accountable. Mommy, get up. You're supposed to work out this morning.
Yeah.
Fall off. Mommy, you haven't worked out in a while. We see the difference. They're calling me out. They're calling me out. Now, I could say, well, you're kind of out of order.
Yeah.
But I asked for the accountability.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm teaching them also how to be accountable for their own actions. So, okay, I fell off. All right, let's brush ourselves off. Let's reset and let's get back going. And that's how I've kind of been approaching this whole season. I'm struggling in school. Let's have a conversation with my professor. Let's keep it real. This is where I am at mentally. Oh, I actually have options. I didn't know I had options. But if I didn't have that conversation, I would have never have known. Let's reset. Let's keep it going. And so I'm trying. I'm not saying it's perfect every day, but that is my path this season, and that is what I'm continuing to work towards. And so, and I got back on my It Works products. I'm to go there. I have a whole holistic nutritionist that you had on the other day. I hooked up with her. We're good to go there. I'm feeling good.
And I love what you see. It's vulnerability is the new currency, and I think that is one of the great things. One of the things that came out of this pandemic, certain people learned that it was okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to be truthful. And Toya and Leslie were both talking about it, figuring out who's who in your life, who needs to say, who needs to go, where's the adjustment that have to go. Who are those people that really will really celebrate you, not when you're down. More importantly, who are the people that will celebrate you when you're up? Because some people like to keep you in the victim mode. And so now I see the both of you have this shirt, the dreamers on it.
Yeah.
And so that means that you went. I know you didn't go shopping in the same store because Toya admitted she's not been shopping. So tell us, you've been talking about the health path and It Works. What it is now that you both have done together in this journey of health and wellness as you enhance your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. Who wants to go? Go,
Wow.
Toya.
Go, Toya.
What have we done? I mean, we've just aligned ourselves with a company that really helps you to move and dream at your own pace, and to discover you through it all. Constantly building us up with saying, okay, you do your personal development, do your spiritual development, showing you really how to level up in so many different ways, not just on a financial level, but in what we're using. They're constantly growing as a company, constantly introducing new things. They have been flourishing, expanding. God has been blessing the company because they're always finding ways to give back too. That's what I love as well, because there's a lot of companies who are big, but they don't give back, you know, in these different kinds of ways. And they don't take heart to the issues that are taking place out there. Let's keep it 100. During this whole pandemic, we were also dealing with Black Lives Matter. We were also dealing with Trump being in office and couldn't wait for his behind to get out. We were also, you know, dealing with
You were in the
people.
States for a little while there. You
Yes,
were in the States for a little
right?
while there. Mm-hmm. And I think Toya's frozen again. So Leslie,
Feel
you're gonna have okay,
and
wait. I
She's
think
come
she's back.
back.
so ah okay, you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So with that being said, it was like all of these things are happening back to back to back. And there was a level of love that the company, whoa, somebody's going off. There was a level of love that was shown to us as distributors in the company, and how we can, you know, move through that and navigate through that. I mean, I even love the aspect of, we now have these calls that happen every third Thursday of every month, the Black
Yeah.
Excellence call, so that we can connect as a community there, because it's not lost on them. And I think because of that, it's helped us to really reinvest into our business, really
Mm-hmm.
reinvest into ourselves, from our mental place, from our heart space, that we really want to share the opportunities that we have in product and opportunity to make money, and also just to have community, because we invite people for free to come to our mindset calls. We invite people for free to come to the Soulful Sundays, because we understand that the collective right now is feeling challenged. And that's what I love about what we do and what we get to share. I truly am a product of the product. Anybody who knows me, like through my whole gamut of, you know, whoever seen me on Canadian Idol knows there was a big girl toy, and then she became a little bit bigger after that, after having her son in a car accident. And,
Right.
you know, my biggest was 338. I've lost and kept off 100 pounds plus. And I'm still going after even adding these 3 new royals to my family. So it's just very like, I think some blackout part happened in part of the house. Oops.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, so pretty much it's like we have this opportunity where we're not only helping people to energize themselves, help with their hair, skin, and nails, to help them lose weight and feel great. We are helping people level up in so many different ways. We are not just like, you know, these other companies who'll be like, yeah, do this and you'll lose the weight and we're going to hold you accountable.
Oh,
Toya, I think you went on mute there. Hold on.
you're
Toya,
on
you gotta
mute.
unmute your mic, Toya. You're muted right now. Hold on. I don't think she realized she's unmuted.
Oh,
Oh,
It muted me somehow. I'm so
okay. Go
sorry,
ahead.
guys.
That's okay.
It was like the button would not take me off of mute. Don't know what's going on. But yeah, you know what? The enemy is a liar. When you're sharing some goodness and trying to bring blessings to people, these are the things that happen. Let me just address you right now. We rebuke you in the name of Jesus. You're not allowed in this space. This is what I'm saying. Every time people want to level up and take you to the next place, and when you're this close, the enemy tries to interrupt you, tries to make you lose your patience, tries to make you scatterbrained. But we ain't gonna be successful here today,
We
not
are
on
gonna be
Victory Speaks.
calm,
We will
cool, and
not.
collected.
Right?
Calm, cool, and
So this is
collected
what
through
I'm
it all.
saying. This is what we get to do. We love it, and it keeps us thriving and growing, and frankly, keeping us connected
Yeah.
to other like-minded people who, you know, give us a space to really be free and be ourselves. And that's like the most fun and important part, I think.
Well, for anybody joining live or replay, I'm talking to Lesley Harrison and Toya Alexis, and they've been talking about their journey as moms, as wives, as entrepreneurs, as artists, and so much has been going on in their lives, and the products that they're using even now has been enhancing who they are and what they do. And Leslie, for you, you have been using It Works, and and I've seen a shift in it. It was different than anything else I have seen. It's about just, making the money. What has the products that you're using now doing for your own, mental, physical, and emotional health?
Well, let me tell you, I because I knew Toya through her journey, I'm not one to jump on these kind of things.
Right.
Not because it's just not my nature. Let's say that. Okay, but because I knew Toya and what she had transitioned, and I was straight with her. I was like, I need to ask you a very personal question, and don't, attack me. And I asked her if she had gastro bypass because I
Right.
knew her from small Toya to voluptuous Toya now to the Toya today. So when I realized that no, that wasn't the case, and I listened to her story, and I was like, okay, so I'm at a stage in my life where I want to change. I know we know we can eat healthy. We know we can work out and things like that. But these products were natural based products. These products were convenient for me. Let's keep it real. Yes, you can get your fruits and vegetables from the store, but you may run out. You may not be able to our products are just in little packages. You put it in your bag, you're good to go. You pour it in some water, you're good to go.
Right.
So it was convenient. You may not get the nutritional value on the shelf as you're supposed to, because now we have all these genetically modified
Mm-hmm.
um, ways of growing our products. And so those were factors that kind of made me start thinking like, okay, well, if there's a way for me to get nutrition into my body and it's cost effective, it's also convenient, what do I have to lose but weight?
Right.
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 And not only weight, just being able to have just healthier things enter into my body. Some of our products I was able to share and use with my children,
Mm.
right? Because they're not getting the fruits and vegetables the way I
Yeah.
would ideally want them to get it. So that was a plus. I can take it, my kids can take it, my husband can take it. So why not, try it? So I did pre-baby. I started using It Works products, and for I started initially for nutrition and
Right.
losing weight, and I started to lose weight, and then I got pregnant. That's always the joke. But then she got pregnant. So, and I was able to still, even through my pregnancy, to still use some of the products. And so that was even a bonus. And here I am, kind of rebooting my system. And I've checked with my doctors, my holistic nutritionist, and they were like, yeah, these things, this is good to go. This is good to
Right.
go. And that makes me even feel so much better because I was nervous as a nursing new mother.
Right.
Yes, we read labels on products that say natural, but we still want to make sure we're safe. And so it has benefited me in my mind, in my body, and even the company itself, because of what it stands for.
Mhm.
um, I have been able to feed myself in so many other ways. Like, I think if I didn't have those elements of the friendships and the sisterhood and they really do, they really encourage personal development. They really encourage you to build yourself as a person, because
Right.
that's the only way you'll be successful in building your company. And so if I didn't have that, I don't think I would necessarily have jumped on and stick with the fact that I wanted to take the opportunity as a business as well.
I love that, and I love what you and Toya have been doing with It Works, and in making sure that your lives are enhanced, others are enhanced, and you're not just talking the talk, you're walking the walk. And Toya has shown us through her own journey the weight loss, and I know Toya has been very open about it. Like, people thought, as Leslie said, what did you do? Did you do an operation? She said, nope. I've just been using It Works, and I've been doing my exercise, and I've been drinking my water, and I've been taking care of my mental health because um, listening to the two of you, even tonight, it's not something that has just been focused about just putting something into your physical body. It's been also feeding your mind and your body and your soul and your spirit. And so when you look at these products and look at what you're doing now, being both artists, doing it works and sharing it. What does victory look like for you, Toya?
Ooh. Honestly, if you asked me this 3 years ago, I would have a completely different answer. Victory for me is peace of mind, because that is priceless. Harmony and balance in my world, more love, fresh new love. And that's for myself and others, because I really recognize that you can have all this money, all this coin, but if those fundamental things aren't there, it's like it's all for nothing. All the
Yeah.
effort, all the work, all the energy, the time that you invest is for nothing. If at the end of it, you can't enjoy it with the people that you love, if you cannot get to a place where you're like, I get to do this, where you're not like, oh, I wish I, would have taken more time to do this. No, what one of the biggest things that I love about what we're doing and what we're a part of is that I get to do it on my own terms. I get to
Mm,
decide my schedule. I get to, work my business from wherever, from a phone. Like, it's just, that is where I'm at. That to me says victory, that I have become even more intimate and obedient in my role as a daughter of a king, and that God keeps showing me like I'm taking care of you, that he keeps me invisible to my enemies, that he constantly keeps me in a space of just take a baby step, move forward, trust me when I say take action, remember the words that I gave you, and stand on those promises. And I call him out to stand on those promises. Sometimes I'm like, Lord, like when we had the little cutoff there, and I was like, okay, enemy, you still trying to try with me? And these
yes.
kids want to go loop-de-loo, la, la, la land. I was like, I'm like, Lord, I give it to you. Have that. It's not my burden. It's not my battle. Please handle that. And then let me know when I can come back.com, .org, .net, .live, .ca. Let's cover every domain, .org. Don't forget. So that's it. That to me is victory. When I can wake up in the morning and just be like, yes, thankful that I'm here. Thankful for my partner, my person, my husband, my king, and my children, my royal tribe, that they move in a space that makes me just be like, I get to do this. There are days I wake up like that, full whole heart. And then there's other days I was like, Jesus, let's have a prayer moment first before I go and interact with these people, because they're trying me. Like, and I think a lot more women need to really be honest
Be real. Be
about
real.
that
Yes.
piece of motherhood, because it will try you. It will try you. There are days where I wake up and I'm like, I wish these little people could just feed themselves. Just, you know what? All you need to do is put it on medium heat, put the turkey bacon inside, and like let it sit there for a minute, like 3 minutes on that side, do 3 minutes so it's
Peace.
crispy the way you like it. You know what I mean?
Because
Like,
mama
don't
needs
you,
some
like, these
peace.
are the things that go on in mothers' heads. But we don't share it, because when people ask us, we're like, the kids are great. Oh my gosh, we're well. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Lie you tell.
No.
Lie you tell. Lie you tell.
Lies people tell. And then people wonder why they're struggling. They're wondering why. It's because you're trying to, for lack of a better term, stay keeping up with the Joneses, in
Yes.
the motherhood role, because you might know one or two moms who are rocking that space. But I don't know many moms who are rocking and doing a whole family of 7, have, their 5 kids. Like, I don't know who's doing that. And we got like, it almost felt like triplets at the end. So, you know what I mean? Like, that is some hard stuff. That is some hard stuff. And people don't speak about it. Even before we had our 4-year-old daughter, we had a miscarriage of twins. And I feel like,
Wow.
especially in our community, we do not make it okay to say it
Mhm.
aloud, because it comes with this level of weakness. I don't know, especially as Black women,
Yeah.
we are held to a different standard of what we are meant to take, that we're supposed to take a beating all the time. No. And then we're supposed to uplift and take care of our kings who are going through the same kind of struggle in a different way. So I think people just really need to start speaking. So I love this platform of Victory Speaks, where we get to share, because sharing is caring. We learned this since we were
Yes.
4. kindergarten, and it still rocks to this day, and we all need to slay it because we're going to change people. And when we become more healed people, we view people differently, so therefore we can have less expectation and more acceptance of where people are at and where they're meant to go. And that may be with you or without you, but at least there are options, and you can have more compassion in your heart. So to me, that is victory. And the more healing I do, the more I can facilitate that and help somebody else through my testimony, not to throw shade to anybody else, but to share that I've been there. That's why I see you, I hear you, I feel your experience, and I'm here to tell you that you can get to the other side. That's
Come on
it.
now. Come on now. You need now. We need Toya. You need now to go now and be like out there doing some speaking. Anybody looking for a speaker who can enhance and affect lives and make you come up to
Yes,
another level? Toya, you need to be speaking to moms,
yes,
and I think it's
agree.
about being the real, because you know, I think if I was a different kind of, in a different space in my life, as we do have this conversation tonight, I always say, love is in the details, but victory is not about crossing the finish line first. It's about crossing the finish line as your best self, and it's a marathon, not a race. It's not a sprint. And if we were to take everything into context, and I always know when the show is going to be good. I really don't care. I don't look at numbers and stuff like that. I look at the meat of the conversation. Whenever there's technical difficulties, I know we're talking about something good. Whenever the airwaves there's give something shifting, and if one person can be uplifted tonight, if whether you're live and on the replay, if one person can take something that could either feed themselves or they can take it and give it to somebody else, I know our mission has been accomplished. We have had victory tonight by
Mm.
just sharing our truth, by the fact that you both were inspired to wear the shirt saying dreamers. I look at Paula earlier saying the dreamers. Yes, you like, even just in what you're wearing, it's a statement reminding people that it's okay to dream. That's so many times that we've stopped dreaming in this pandemic. Because the word pandemic stays out there and people are pivoting. And I know when I stopped dreaming and, the dream was suppressed because so many things are coming at you. And so I really appreciate your transparency and your vulnerability, but keeping it real and telling the truth. And, as I say, tell the truth, shame the devil. And so, Lesley, what does victory look like for you?
Can I, before I answer that, can I just add to what you were saying about the dreams? Because
Mhm.
I feel like it needs to be said. And I'm getting moments like that lately, Nicole, where it's like I feel like I need to say this. That's the usual. That's a Nicole thing from for our relationship. That's a Nicole thing. But even the other day, Toya, on the mindset call, I'm like, I feel like I need to share this with you.
Yes, yes.
One of the things, and as I said, it's always a work in progress. But going back to the beginning of my journey as an artist, and stepping into that, my mother sat me down because I come from a Caribbean home, and typically your parents don't say yes, you can be a dancer, a singer, or this or that, right? And my mom said, if you want this, write it down.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Why you keep
always,
saying my mom is our mother?
Ah,
well, they don't know that yet,
I just tell them. I just tell them. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
but
I'm
she
here
would
for it. Let
always
me
say,
sip tea.
she would always say, write it down. She would always say, write it down. And I feel like once you do that, it's like there's no turning back. And even I forgot in this stage in my life, I'm remembering I need to write it down because if I don't, I'm not
Write the
committed.
vision. Write the vision.
I'm not committed. I forgot that because you know what happened? I wrote it down and I did it and I didn't plan beyond what I wrote.
Mm,
That was good. That was
I
good. That was
didn't.
a
I was like, okay, I want to go
yes,
to university. I want to be in Ghana. I want to, yep, done. Now what? And
yeah.
so even when I moved back to Toronto, it took me up until I would say maybe this year, I would say, for me to confidently say, okay, I need to take the steps now to put my foot in other places that God
Mhm.
desires me to put them.
Mhm.
Because I had stopped planning beyond, I had reached that goal, but you have to write it down and you have to keep being intentional and reinventing what it is that you're supposed to walk in. So I just needed to say that because I feel like when we talk about dreams, And there are people on this call
Yes,
that just needed to
pen
hear.
to paper,
But
that
I'm
energy.
gonna add to it. I'm gonna add to it. It's that we write the vision, you make it plain, but you have to go back to your vision. Every
Mhm.
year you need to go back to your vision. And I would say even twice a year if you can. And go back to that vision board. And it's not just a vision for, my career. It's a vision for, I break it into 7 areas. What's your vision for your personal health, your physical health, and your mental health? What's your
Mhm.
vision for your family? What's your vision for if you're married or you have a partner? What's the vision for that relationship? What's the vision for your friendships, the friendships you want in your life? What is the vision for your spirituality? What does that look like for you? Where do you want to see that? And then what's the vision for your career? And at the end, what's your vision for your finances? Because
Mm.
sometimes we put the finances so far at the top. You said it at the beginning. When you said I had to take care of me, everybody's shocked because, Toya wasn't putting herself first. But if you don't put yourself first, just like we always know, you got to put on your oxygen mask, you cannot take care of family. And so Lesley, you were talking about, dreams and your vision. But what does victory look like for you now when you think about victory? I know you're thinking, your eyes are rolling in the back of your head.
It's funny because I know this question comes every call, and still,
You've watched the show. You've watched the show.
I have watched
Okay.
the show, but the reason why I guess I struggle with it, or I think it's because you're not used to looking at yourself in the mirror
Hmm.
and facing who you are and where you're at, and getting in tune with that. So
Hmm.
I would say victory for me is being happy with who I am
Hmm.
mentally, physically, being in a strong relationship with God, and being open enough to hear what needs to be heard and receive what needs to be received. Victory for me is being in that sense of peace and happiness, and that my family is in that sense of peace and happiness. That my family, with all that they have gone through, whether I know what it is or not, that they are at peace, that whatever needs to be healed is healed, and that whatever path they need to be on, whether I accept it or not, that they're on the path that they're supposed to be. That is victory for me, because I feel like if we are happy within our own selves and walking in our path and our purpose, then everything else will align. You're on mute, Nicole.
Of course, I'm on mute. There was a motorcycle passing by, and I put
Oh,
myself on because it was overpowering, everything else. And you see, you answer the question. And sometimes we have to ask ourselves these really deep questions. And so, as we start to wind down, because I know you're moms and babies, we had baby on the show earlier. For those of you live and on the replay, this is the show where we keep it real. This is a show where anything can happen, and it's okay because we are ordinary people living extraordinary lives, doing the impossible things and making it possible. And so as we begin to wind down, what is your message, both of you, to anyone listening, and even to the changes that you've made for your health and how it works has impacted your life? You can pick any message that you want to give right now, as dreamers, as people who are reinventors of self and sharpening each other, being iron sharpeners and being okay to reset. Because I love the fact that both of you spoke about the reset and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, being perfectly imperfect, and saying, you know what, I need a timeout. And Toya, before, I know you were having some technical stuff. One of the things I said that I love that you did was you told your children, "Hey, have you asked how mom is doing today?" That to me was a really bing bing moment. So now that your kids are not saying, normally as parents you say, "Can you go get me a glass of water?" Now they're going to come to you, and you set them up to think, "Oh, mom, how are you doing today?" And they're going to get you the glass of water without you having to ask them to go get you that glass of water. And I love how you both are intentionally shifting the mindsets of yourselves and the mindset of your children. So as you've both been speaking victory today and speaking life into others and sharing your journey as artists and your journey of health and of friendship that has stood the test of time, that at one point you just met each other in high school, but now you're like sister friends. As iron sharpeners to each other, what would you like to leave the Victory Speak show with as your message?
Who's taking that one?
Well, you both have to, because it's each of you,
Oh,
each of you.
okay. I would say that it's my personal soul mission to help other people feel as good as I do most days. Let's keep it 100. I am on a soul mission to help people tap into that mental part of themselves and to figure out what their why is, to figure out what is getting them to jump out of bed every single day, what is inspiring them to want to go higher, and really just motivating them to be their best selves, and then helping to align them with the opportunities, possibilities, maybe even products that will help them be able to protect their better version of themselves fearlessly. That is my mission, especially when I'm dealing with the queens out there, because I feel like a lot of times we allow ourselves to be on the back burner and the back row of everything, let everybody else shine. And I'm here to call out your inner shine, to say, let's turn up and amplify, the light that you dimmed for everybody else. I want you to turn it on full power now and say yes to you, and invest in making a difference in your world on a mental level, physical level, spiritual level, emotional level, whatever that may be. Because this is now your time. And if you were kind of hemming and hawing, or maybe you came on this call by accident, or maybe you were intentional by coming out to show love and support to any one of us three, then maybe was your time to hear this message, that there is something out there that is more for you. And if you are in a position right now, or you're in a place where you're ready for a shift to take care of you, then I know that I am somebody who's able to help you do that, because I'm still on my own journey, and I have been through some stuff, and maybe even in your share, you're going to be able to help me too. So if you're looking for ways to better your health, or maybe just an opportunity to, shift yourself from working for somebody else and becoming your own boss, then, or not even so much boss, but your own person to answer to, because really and truly, the boss in my world, the CEO of my personal life and our company, to me, is God first and foremost. And so with that being said, I want to really just encourage you to say yes to you for the first time, even if it's a baby step, and let's have a conversation and get you going. So if you are in need of these things, holler at us, let us know. And, essentially, we're all here to shine. We all want to be winning, and there's room for us all to win. There's so much of an abundance, and the lack mindset, we ain't here for it. So if you ready, we ready to be your cheerleader and rock out the best way that we know how to teach you to do that.
As our girl Tiffany Haddish would say, she ready.
She ran.
She ready. So Lesley, for you, what do you want to say before you close out tonight?
I would say that embrace the small wins. No matter what it is you're going through, just, those small wins. Listen, I got a meal cooked today on the table at 7. It's a win, okay? My child woke up and brushed her teeth without asking them to do it. That's a win. Celebrate the small wins, and really, take the time to look within, take the time to reflect, how can you keep filling your cup? That has been my whole kind of theme for this year for myself. I always put up, excuse me while I fill my cup. Fill your cup with good things physically, what you're drinking, what you're eating, what you're reading, what you're putting in your mind. Fill your cup, and then when you wake up, listen, we're in a pandemic, okay? I know we can get comfortable at home and we walk around looking a little unkept sometimes, but Let's act like we got somewhere to go and make yourself feel good. Put on something nice that you feel good in and continue to fill yourself because no one else can push you but you. Get out of your own way. I've had to do it. I'm still doing it. Ask Nicole. How many
Yes.
I'll call Nicole and be like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to do this. And I'll call her 10 minutes later and I'll say, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do it. Because of the F word. We won't say the F word, but because of the F word. We need to get out of our own way. We're the only ones stopping ourselves.
Yep.
Sky is the limit.
Mm-hmm.
We are the only ones stopping ourselves. The opportunities are there. Take advantage of what. Listen, we live in a place where my girlfriend just texted me last night. She's like, how come you happen to find all these free things for kids? We live in a place where things are accessible.
Yes.
Yes, there are some struggles. Granted, I'm not going to take that away from anybody. But there are great opportunities. Tap into that. Ask questions. If you don't know, ask. You won't lose anything. Right? So I'm always like, let's do the things that will keep filling you. And if you don't know where to get what you need, I mean, you have 3 beautiful women on this call right now that I'm sure are very resourceful. Nicole being one of them, very resourceful, but just keep filling your cup and do that with the best of intentions. Because once you do it with the best of intention, then no one can shade you for that.
I love it. I love it. I mean, those were really, riveting words. And, I thank you both for taking the time and coming on the show. I know we had to pivot among families and adjust. And for those of you watching live and on the replay, we're keeping it real tonight because families matter. And we were determined to have this conversation, babysitter or no babysitter,
Yeah,
who husband working and both husbands are working tonight. And we were like,
Yes.
no. Even when we tried to pre-record the show, it was like, no, this is gonna happen live.
live.
And we
Yeah,
are gonna
Yep.
keep it real for moms to know that you don't have to be this perfect, perfect makeup, perfect hair, perfect. Mind you, we all looking real great tonight. But everything doesn't have to be
took
perfect.
my
You have
wig
to
off.
be you know what? You ain't got no wig. I never wore a wig in my life. You know what I'm saying? We all have to just be comfortable being us and in the space. And it's like on Clubhouse, pretending like you're on Clubhouse. For those of you who know what Clubhouse is, people just going on audio and having conversations. And I think that's one of the things Clubhouse has done. It has allowed people to just be real and feel safe in a place that is really open. It's a social media space, but because people are able to be vulnerable and share, that is what I want Victory Speaks, this conversation, people come on here to have that and the audience to experience. And so, Lesley, I say, like, permission to speak, please. Go ahead.
Permission to speak, please. Actually, Toya and I, because we really want people to experience what we experience, we
Right.
wanted to do a giveaway.
Oh, okay.
We
That's a
wanted to do a
surprise.
giveaway.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
So how are we gonna do this giveaway? I actually have a little sample here in my hand. I don't know if
Can
you
I,
can see it with
Yes.
the
it's kind
light.
of white. We can't really see it.
Well, it's gonna be a tease then.
I
Lean
see
forward.
keto.
Lean
I think
forward.
it's keto coffee. I see keto coffee there.
Yep.
Yes,
Lean
this is the
forward.
Yes.
keto
Yep.
coffee. This is
Okay,
the
there,
keto.
right there. Hold it right there.
All right. Keto coffee.
Right.
Okay. MCT oil, grass-fed butter,
Collagen is in there. Gives you
collagen,
energy, keeps you full for 3 to 4 hours.
non-GMO, keto-friendly,
Helps
soy-free. Just there's a few things to know about it.
keeps clarity up in the space, and it also helps you lose weight and feel great. Let's just keep it real.
Can I enter?
100.
Can I enter this contest?
And let me say, because as I went through my assessment for my wellness journey, I was, and it kind of confirmed, I was thinking the same thing. I wasn't eating enough. So let's break down the misconception that if you are a big person, that person is eating a lot of food. You can also gain
not
weight
true.
because you're not eating a lot of food and you're not
Right.
eating the right food.
Right.
So on that note,
Let's
I don't
give
know how you
away
want to do this.
keto coffee.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you want to do
Can
this
I just
giveaway?
share?
Yeah.
You do not have to, and anybody, like, you do not have to be on a keto diet to reap the benefits of this product. And it's naturally based, it's vegan line, that it really helps to um, kickstart your day and keep you in intermittent fasting mode if you're aware of that. And so your body goes into fat burning mode, into ketosis, and will definitely help you start to see, just swapping your coffee alone can help you drop some of those pounds. I use this product to shed my 100+ pounds. It helped me, especially in my last stages of it. It really helped. So
I'm
we got to
starting
give away
tomorrow.
that.
I won that pack. I'm starting tomorrow. I won the pack. Just say.
And I think there's what, a 2-week supply in there, right? That's a 2-week supply.
No, no,
15 packs. Is it a 15
yes,
pack?
15 pack.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's a
Yeah.
2-week supply. And if you like them, because you will see results within that week or two, you will
Okay.
see results. So
Okay.
you got to
And need
do
some keto
that.
coffee. So how do you want to do this giveaway? Is it, do you have a question, or we're going to post something, or anybody? I know we still have people on the line watching live. So if you
Yes.
are, I don't know. I wasn't prepared for the giveaway.
Okay. If you can answer how many kids I have in total, you win the
Ooh.
prize. The first person to
Ooh.
answer how many kids I have in total.
All right. So if you can answer that, whether you're live or on the replay, we're going to keep checking the comments because we know some people watch the replay. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
win a pack of It Works coffee, keto coffee from It Works,
Yes.
compliments of Toya and Lesley. And if you want to know more about these two moms who are dreamers and living big dreams and are artists and have actually gone into another business that is not going to just enhance their wallet, but is more importantly enhancing their mental health, their physical health, and the health of their children. Uh, we have an answer. We have an answer. Danielle 5. She said, "Yay,
Yeah, that's
Ding, ding,
right.
Danielle."
ding.
Mama Twins plus 3. We gave you that in the introduction.
You were listening. So Danielle, we're gonna DM you, and we're gonna get you this package. And congratulations! This is the first giveaway on the Victory Speak So on July 7th. Yay!
We're just in the spirit
And
of
it's my
giving
sister's
today.
birthday.
Oh,
Whose birthday?
And it's my sister's, yeah, it's my sister's
Okay.
birthday. Mine's coming right around the corner on the 16th. So, hey,
So do you
yes,
want to do you want to
birthday
sing do you want to
vibes.
sing happy birthday? And you know what? I have a lot of friends who have birthdays today. So anybody who's having a birthday today, we wish you a happy birthday. We wish you
Yes,
lots
happy
of,
birthday.
love, hope, and blessings. And
Cancer
Lesley and Toya,
season.
thank you for coming on. And stay right there. Don't go anywhere as I wind up the show. And thank everyone who is live and on the replay. Thank you for joining us so much tonight. This has actually been a really fun show. If you were at the top of the show, we even had a baby born during the pandemic online being a part of the show. And remember that love is in the details. And every day we want to seek to have an intentional conversation. If you miss any part of the show, please go back and watch the rebroadcast. You can watch it on YouTube at Victory Speaks 7, or if you're on Facebook, Victory Speaks 77. Tomorrow, I'm dropping a new episode on the audio podcast of Victory Speaks, where you can get it on anywhere that you listen to the podcast. And I'm going to be talking about the O in victory, the ovation. Are you able to give yourself an ovation for those victories that are small, whether they're big? And, over the last little while, I've been talking about the victory formula. So go and check out the podcast. You can catch it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts. And, you know, for me, it's about having the victory mindset. And tonight it was all about that. And Toya and Lesley shared how they operate with a victory mindset and how they have been vulnerable and have been willing to change and do the things that they need to do to enhance their lives and the lives of their family. And set a vision for yourself, set a vision for every part of your life. Be intentional about it. And remember, you got to cultivate your vision. And when you're cultivating your vision, sometimes you got to go in there and make some adjustments. You got to prune it, and then you will see the transformation. And as you give yourself that ovation, make sure and celebrate each other. One thing about this message tonight is we were talking about iron sharpeners. Lesley and Toya are sharpening each other in everything that they do. And they're having these mindset calls. What is it that you're doing for yourself that can sharpen your mind, change your day? How are you starting your day so that you can be restored and filled up and enjoy those moments and give yourself some self care? And remember, in order to do that, you have to yield to the process. You got to humble yourself. So as we get ready to leave tonight, and I want you to activate that victorious lifestyle mindset, speak victoriously, think victoriously, walk victoriously, feel it, walk in that love, believe that you can be victorious. And funny enough, the seventh one is wait. And Miss Toya told us about waiting tonight. I may have to get her to come back and tell us what that acronym about waiting is. But before I do, and before we say goodbye, I want to leave you with three quotes to think about. Albert Pike says, "What we do for ourselves dies with us. What we do for others lives on forever." And Nicole Karen Virginia Waldron says, "Love is in the details. Don't take the people in your life for granted. Instead, respect them and treat them with care, gentleness, and truth. And try to love someone unconditionally. May you see the victory moments in every part of your week." And so before we go tonight, I'm going to bring these two women back up onto the stage. And Toya, tell us, what is your acronym for wait before we go tonight?
Why am I talking?
Why
Wow.
am I talking? What
That's
is the
right.
purpose of your message? Why are you saying what you want to say? Be intentional with your message. So as we leave out of here tonight, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate everyone who has tuned in live and on the replay. And remember to let your victory speak. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of calabash. And see you on the flip side. We'll see you on Monday with a new show. Stay tuned to our social media. And Lesley and Toya will drop some information on It Works. And if you want any information on that, so that you can be healthy, strong, and fit in your mind, body, soul, and spirit, and sharpen somebody in your life today. Live a victorious lifestyle, people, and let your victory speak. Thank you and good night.